I think Taylor could easily just like manipulate me into killing myself. She would probably do that. Yeah, because I don't understand like back to front, because then you're like shifting it towards your balls.
Would you rather have a gay son or a thought daughter? I want to debate you on some very, very serious, hard-hitting issues.
Shit.
Israel Palestine? That's nothing compared to what we're going to be talking about. Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of H3Y. Today I'm with H3 community's favorite political content creator, Lonerbox. Lonerbox, for those who are unfamiliar with who you are, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah, hi, I'm Lonerbox. I make YouTube videos, I do live streams, and I do mostly debate-related content or news coverage, mostly focused on the Middle East and the UK, sometimes America.
Awesome, very good, very good. So let me give you a breakdown for this interview. So I have some icebreaker questions. These are questions I ask every person I interview. And then I have some fan-submitted questions. I was advertising that I will be interviewing with you. So I have some questions lined up by some of the fans. And then I have some nitty-gritty questions specifically tailored to you. And at the very end, I have a fun activity planned for us. So let's get started. Question number one, Lonerbox. Do you have any ghost stories?
Yeah, everyone in Britain has a ghost story.
Yeah? What?
You know that, like, yeah, because you know, like, superstitions work, right? Like, different countries have different superstitions. So, like, in America, they believe a lot in aliens. Germany, I think it's a lot to do with, like, foresty kind of, like, folklore. Yeah, in Britain, we like ghosts. Yeah, we love ghosts because we got lots of castles. And, you know, everyone in Scotland owns a castle.
What's the most, like,
You heard that?
paranormal activity you've experienced?
Bro, one time, it was not long after my granddad died, that, and I barely remember this story. This was like my family that told me about it. But I woke up apparently and went into my living room when I was about maybe 12 years old because I was complaining that someone was like tugging my bed sheets all night.
Ooh.
So yeah, and that was like just very shortly after my granddad died.
Oh, wow, that's wild.
So some people in my family are convinced that that's the ghost.
It's quite possible. I usually share a specific ghost story, but that the tugging of the bed sheets has happened to me in the past too. There was one summer when I was 8, and every few nights or so, I would wake up to my bed sheets being completely ripped off from me, and I was so scared I didn't want to open my eyes, so I would just sleep through the night. But one night I was preparing for the ghost to do so, and so I wrapped myself as tight as I could. And I was playing tug of war with the ghost for like what felt like 5 minutes. And then eventually the ghost gave up, and then it didn't bother me ever again.
What, was there any connection to the ghost? Did someone die?
No,
that you knew?
not that I was aware of. It was completely random, it felt like. And there has never been any like death or like weird like crime activity in my house or pretty much in my block for the most part. So very little explaining of what it could have been. But yeah, that's one ghost story I hardly share. So, yeah, that's it. That's it on ghost stories. That's cool that you know, you're so open to it. Sometimes I ask people the ghost story question, like, what the heck? That's insane, Alex. Why would you ask me that? But anyways,
Yeah, Brits love ghosts.
that's fun. They love.
Can't avoid it.
Japan also loves ghosts too. I learned. I interviewed someone from Japan, and apparently, if you haven't had a ghost story in Japan, you're not living in Japan.
Yeah, that makes sense.
All right, next icebreaker question. Lonerbox, how do you wipe? From back to front or front to back?
How do I what?
Wipe.
Like on the bathroom?
Yes.
I'm trying to think of how I don't know. Back to front or front to back? Like what? You start on the. Oh yeah, okay, I get it. Like you start from your tailbone and go down,
Yeah.
or you start from your gooch and go.
Exactly.
Bro, I literally don't know.
But put yourself in that situation.
I don't know.
In your mental headspace.
What's front? So okay, back is tailbone.
Yeah.
Okay, I get it. Probably front to back.
Okay, yeah, I would say that's the more standard method of wiping. And this is the method I employ as well.
Yeah. Yeah, because I don't understand like back to front, because then you're like shifting it towards your balls, and that just feels weird.
Apparently, the people
Whereas your tailbone is, like, less important.
the people that shifted towards the balls have to lift up their balls in order to not get anything on them. But for whatever reason, especially when it comes to taller people, I've asked this question. It's the more comfortable method for them. And strangely enough, it's usually like, it'd be crazy to imagine a woman doing that, but many women have also said they employ the back to front method.
Yeah, and someone in my chat is saying that sometimes you might have to do like a sort of spiral inwards, like the way a toilet flushes or the way water goes down a sink.
Right.
I mean, I'm half Middle Eastern, so people use hoses where my family comes
Oh, how
from.
fun. How sanitary. All right, Lonerbox. Next icebreaker question. Who is your favorite crew member on the H3 podcast?
I like Dan. I like it when he bullies Ethan. It's funny.
It is very funny. My personal favorite was Olivia. I always thought she brought a lot of light and levity to the show, and I really hope she comes back one day. But if she doesn't, I totally understand. All right, next icebreaker question. Who would you rather be stuck on a deserted island with? Hasan, Piker, Noah, Samson, or Taylor Lorenz?
Probably Hasan, because I would just annoy him all day.
Oh, awesome. How about
I think he's easily the one who would get the most irritated by me being there. Whereas I feel like people like Noah or Taylor, they would be the ones annoying me.
I've asked this question to so many people. I usually put Hasan in the mix. No one has picked Hasan ever, I don't think.
Why not? Who would you pick?
Out of those three, definitely not Taylor. I think it would be a toss-up between Noah and Hasan. Noah has such a lack of personality. It'll probably feel like I'm alone on the island, so maybe Noah. I would think I would go with Noah for sure.
I mean, Taylor would probably. I think Taylor could easily just like manipulate me into killing myself. She would probably do that, and she would do it intentionally, and take all my coconuts. But like Noah's very like non-confrontational. You know,
Yeah.
I don't think he'd be up for it. He'd just walk away,
Yeah.
try to get rid of me. Whereas Hasan, I feel like I could go and bother him, and he would get like he'd take me on. You know, so I would get social interaction.
Okay. Yeah, that's a very fair answer. Has Taylor ever tried reaching out to you for like an interview or anything?
No.
No? Okay. It's interesting because if you put her name in a title of a thumbnail or in the title of a video, she will be conjured. I've seen her in live streams with like less than 200 people, and she just pops up pretending to be someone else. So it's a quick tip for you if you ever want to summon her.
Well, if she's pretending to be someone else, how do you know who she is?
Come on. No one defends Taylor Lorenz like Taylor Lorenz.
Oh, I probably have had her in my chat then.
Cool.
Who knows?
Alrighty. Next icebreaker question. Who would you rather have dinner with? Idubbbz, Vaush, or Pirate Software?
Oh, easily Vaush. What are you talking about?
Explain your process of elimination.
Because Vaush is funny as hell. He's always got some nonsense. He's always got something to say. You know, I would just ask him questions and just let him go off on one, and he can do his like amazing public speaker stream of consciousness. Yeah, of course.
Very fun.
No way, Pirate Software. He'd be insufferable. Who's the other one?
Idubbbz.
Idubbbz. I mean, if I wanted a quiet night, I could maybe take Idubbbz and just have him sit there and probably not say
A
anything.
quiet dinner doesn't sound too bad. I think I would also go with Idubbbz. All right, Lonerbox. Last icebreaker question. What would be your last meal?
I feel like I'm a big fan of carbonaras. I do love that. I'm also a big fan of. Actually, more recently, I've been enjoying my own spaghetti bolognese and actually shawarma. There's one shawarma place where I live, and it is the most amazing delivery box I've ever had from any shawarma. Even in the Middle East, it's not even, it doesn't even come with bread, right? You just get like the meat on top of. You get to choose two sides, so it can be like bread, hummus, fries, fucking. Like rice, and the rice is amazing, the lamb and chicken is amazing, the fries are amazing, so I just get that. It's all in one box, and it's 2 meals as well, so it's expensive, but it's actually cheaper than any other delivery because you can get 2 meals out of it.
Wow, that sounds like a very rich final meal. How about for a dessert? Would you incorporate a dessert in your final meal?
I don't know, bowl of cornflakes.
Oh,
with sugar.
nice. That's a very good choice. All right, that's it for the icebreaker questions. Let's jump into some of the fan questions. So, Strong Doctor asks, what hair product do you use and what's your hair routine?
My hair routine. I wash it like once every 2 or 3 days, maybe. Head and Shoulders, obviously. And more recently, I've been using this like curl cream stuff, but I can't remember what it's called.
Ooh.
Someone gave it to me.
I too use a curl
I think
cream.
it was a fairly fancy one.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, the curls be curling.
I still don't even know. Yeah, I still don't even really know what it does apart from that it like makes it look shorter, like it flattens it a bit, gets rid of the frizz.
Maybe a before and after might be good next time, just to see like what it's like with or without it.
Yeah, I should do. Shit.
All right, Klonos asks, which resources are your favorite to read daily news and to fact check stories?
That really varies. I'm usually okay with New York Times, Washington Post. If it's Middle East, I'll usually go Times of Israel. For fact checking, I typically with fact checking, I would prefer that sometimes I'll go really far with this, but I'll usually prefer that there is some kind of like original source I can go and find. So I hate it when journalists will reference, say, like an interview or a court document or something like that, but they won't link the document to you, or they'll link like a policy brief from the government or some manifesto, but they won't link the PDF of the whole thing. And sometimes they do, but they don't tell you what page number the thing you're looking for is, and they don't use matching words, so you can't control F it very easily. Like, yeah, that's really annoying. So as much as I can, I will try to go to the original, because more and more, I think I trust so much. I put so much less trust in so many different in so much media for like how they actually present stuff.
Right, yeah.
But
Not having things linked is very frustrating for sure. That's why I like
or why is it so common for the press to link words, but it's just like it goes to like the website's little page of like a definition of the word. So I'll be looking at like something about Donald Trump in America with the Supreme Court and the Supreme Court document talking about giving him immunity or something. And the only hyperlink on the paragraph is Supreme Court, and you click it and it just takes you to a separate page of stories by the Supreme Court or a definition of the Supreme Court. And I'm like, why are you doing that? No one has ever needed that, ever.
I've seen that on many websites. I think some websites that used to build stuff has an automatic like keyword highlight feature that just automatically sends them to like dictionary.com. But yeah, that's really stupid. Definitely should be fixed by these so-called journalists. Alrighty, next question. Ashoka asks, based on your debates with Hasan viewers, what possible ground is there to gain with them? And which area do you see is impossible and shouldn't ever be bothered?
Most of the time it's impossible, but you can still use it to sort of set an example to people who are on the fence. Otherwise, I I think a lot of that sphere need to understand that when it comes to, say for example right now, like I think that there has been such a lack of emphasis on the culpability of Hamas and what's happening in Gaza. I think people, it's obviously easier and more intuitive to just go straight to Israel with like the obviously all the airstrikes and the insane statements from the government and the crimes of the soldiers and everything like that. But at the end of the day, and I'm really happy this happened now, the way for this to stop and to move on to a phase of the conflict that is actually not involving tens of thousands of people dying is if Hamas disarms. Like that's the big thing. And I think for someone like Hasan viewers, I think stressing to them that it's like the stuff that I advocate for now when it comes to the Middle East, it's not necessarily just for people who like Israel. Lots of people who like Israel don't like me because they don't think I like Israel enough. It's even if you hate Israel, you should still be on board with Hamas disarming and getting rid of power, because they and people who are a lot of Palestinians from the region understand this because they'll use that language. It's not just like they'll condemn Israel all day long, but they'll always say, "Oh, they gave us this excuse," right? Like that Israel was given an excuse by Hamas. So yeah, I think doing that is like that's a general debate strategy I do. Anyway, it's to explain to people that a lot of what is to take people on their own terms and say why this is still the case.
Right.
You know, like even by your logic, like you should still be in favor of this thing. Yeah.
Absolutely. And also thank you for all the work you do to try to de-radicalize all those rabid Hasan fans. Next question. Hey, I'm Casey asks, would you rather have a gay son or a thought daughter?
Oh, gay son, obviously.
Please explain.
I feel being a father with a daughter just must be the scariest fucking thing because the amount of people I've known in life who are always very like, you know, they were kind of skeptical of what was going on with the Me Too stuff and all that shit, but like, and then they have daughters and then they're like, oh, suddenly they become the most defensive, like men are trash people in the world. I don't know. Every other time I ask women about like say dating experiences, you'll get like 5 horror stories out of them in like 10 seconds. You know, yeah.
Every
So
woman
I
I've
don't wanna
talked
deal-
to,
yeah.
every woman I've talked to has something fucked up happen to them. It's so crazy. Like, damn, man, I wish I don't know what the solution is. These guys are just so fucked up and treat women horribly.
It probably does. It probably does matter if you're like for a son. I think the pressure there is like being a good role model or being a good like
Yeah.
male role model as well, because obviously they're going to grow up in a world where they're going to get pulled into all kinds of different directions of what's expected from boys or men. You know, like it'd be probably quite difficult for if I was a dad right now dealing with the fact that Andrew Tate's really popular amongst school kids. You know, dealing with that would be very difficult. But I think it's still probably better than daughter for being a dad. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Less worry, I think.
Alrighty, next question. This comes from Foodshops. She wants to reform the bridge with you. How? What terms would you need to allow that to happen?
Probably not doing it in a random fucking interview call. Thank you. Like,
Well, they also they also wanted me to skip this question and just let you know that they DM'd you too. But I thought it'd be way too fun to not. It'd be too fun not to ask you.
okay. Now we can move on to the next question.
All right, very
Fuck
good, very
that.
good. Sorry, Foodshops. Spider X109 asks, "Can you slide him $1 million?"
Yeah.
Very good.
Super chats, chat. I'm talking to myself. I'm talking to my own community.
Is he your main clip channel, Mr. Unboxed?
Kind of. Yeah. He's like, people my size don't really have clip channels, so he's kind of like the only one. Otherwise, I've got my editor on my own page.
He also wants to know what was your reaction when Ethan first mentioned you on H3?
I was like, hey, that's me.
Very fun, very fun. All right, that's all the fan questions. Let's jump into the Lonerbox specific questions. What were your thoughts on Dogtober 7th, and do you think Hasan will recover?
Oh, you said Dogtober 7th.
Yeah.
I thought you said October 7th. Probably the same answer for both, eh? I think it's quite interesting that you can try to call someone out for all the for things like supporting terrorism or for supporting like authoritarian like communist regimes and things like that, or for the appalling like stances on Russia and Ukraine. I think, but obviously the way that you really get people to realize someone's got a problem is if they fuck with a dog. You know, Americans love their dogs. It's just. And I don't know. I think he could have easily, if his version of the story is true, he could have easily stopped this from being a thing on the day. Watching, I don't know. I think it's really interesting for me just to watch because it's such a perfect example of how flagrantly dishonest he is.
He just can't. He can't stop. He just can't stop lying. Just tell the truth once, man, and I think everything will be fine.
Yeah, it's I don't know, but that's like the whole game that they play is like no accountability, no no admission of fault, and also just like unfortunately in his case though it's also no consistency of like the alternate story. You know, there's no marching orders like you would be with someone say like Trump. There's no marching orders. Everyone's giving contradictory defenses. Yeah, I just think watching it is it's just funny. You know, it's just enjoyable lol content.
I mean, it's hard to stay consistent when you live a life full of lies. The October 7th incident was really an amazing turning point in H3 spaces because like. Man, being an H3 fan is kind of hard because everyone always has talking points to talk shit on Ethan. But now we finally got something for Hasan, and you know, very very fun to shit on Hasan for once. My TikTok is full of Hasan hate, and it's just an amazing time for the H3 community. I've always suspected Hasan's downfall will be imminent. He's so full of himself and so not careful because he thinks Twitch is gonna protect him forever. But what do you think? What will it take for people to finally realize Hasan's a piece of shit?
I don't know. When it comes to that, I've never really been one to take part in like the whole like trying to destroy someone's career angle. That's not really what I'm ever into, because one, I don't really think people shouldn't have platforms. I do support free speech, and if people have a voice that other people want to hear, they should be allowed to do it. But I generally think that people need to realize that some people are always going to have people who like them. Like they're always going to have defenders. Once a certain name gets big enough, it's very hard for them to go down to just going back to like 20 viewers or something like that. It's never going to happen. He's always going to have loyal followers.
Unless you're Idubbbz, you will go to 20 viewers.
Yeah, but Idubbbz could still publish videos on his main channel and get like a few 100,000 views, right?
Right.
Yeah, but that's true. No one's watching his. I mean, he made a very cataclysmic error of getting into that crowd. But in any case, it's more like an exception that proves the rule, right? I think if you are expecting anything like that to happen with Hasan, like no, he'll be going at this until he's retired. Like he'll be going this until into his old age. Like I don't
Yeah,
think he's going to give up or do something else. He might get smaller or less relevant, but he's also in a unique position where he can very much ride the wave of his ideology. Like he's attached to socialism, and a lot of people who are socialists, they just want a front man for the talking. Like it's not like people are there for the nuanced opinions or for the research or for the education, right? They're there because they like socialism and they want a good front man for it. And he's a good front man, you know. He's good looking, he's funny sometimes, he streams all very regularly, so he's like a good. He turns up, he goes to events, he's got contacts. He's like it's everything that you want for like that. It serves it meets a demand in the market, and that's not going to go away.
I slightly disagree. I feel like the powers that be are going to be sick of him at some point for just constantly making their own platform look bad, and they're going to stop protecting him at some point personally. But I guess only time
I
will
mean,
tell.
Twitch might stop protecting him, but will YouTube? Like you just go to YouTube and stream there.
So true. All right. Next question. Do you think you look like Hasan Piker?
Probably more so than the average person, but not really.
I've always seen it, and I'm sure you've gotten this comparison so many times. See, me being in chat earlier, someone called me the Bizarro You. Like people are constantly comparing people that they see on screen to other people. But whenever I see you in the live chat of a streamer talking about you or covering your videos, I've always said you look like a son who hasn't eaten in 3 days.
Wow. Is that a compliment or a criticism? I have no idea.
It's neither. It's just a goofy thought that always pops into my head.
Well, it is what it is. People see what they want to see. I don't really complain. It's just looks, isn't it?
Okay, very good, very good. I really just wanted to show you that because it's been a chat meme and in some of the communities I'm in, and no one agrees with me, but that's how I've always personally felt. Next question. What's your association with Destiny, and what's your current relationship with him, if any?
Next question. It's not good. It's not going to be. It's fine. Just put it there.
All right, next question. So many of the people in the commentary community love to use the R word, including yourself. It's working very offensive in the H3 community, and we always make measures not to include it in our videos and live streams. But are you aware that, obviously I'm pretty sure you're aware that the R word can alienate certain groups of people, but what's your policy on the R word?
Well, I read in the CNN article that it was back and it's becoming normalized. The way I see it is that, especially like ableist slurs, like most of them are derivative of what used to be like old, now defunct diagnoses, right? Like I think the R word was alongside idiot or imbecile. Like these were kind of like similar categories. And obviously the R word was just one that kind of lingered on a bit more and stayed a slur, whereas the other two didn't. I've kind of been around its use since before I was a teenager. It's always just had a very like neutral or like neutered feeling for me. There will be maybe some people who don't like hearing it, but at the end of the day, I think there is maybe the fact that I also have I've had like mental health issues or difficulties, like I've got autism and ADHD. So I don't think it's really in a position where it's one of those words that's kind of like being fought over. Like it's being fought over whether or not it remains a slur or whether or not it just becomes in the same category as like moron or imbecile, because they all used to mean the same thing. Okay. Cretin, yeah. So that's a choice. Obviously, some people don't like it, but they don't have to watch me. So.
All right, very good, very good. And I didn't know you had autism, so I guess in a certain sense you have a pass. You believe you have a pass for having autism that you can say the R word?
Maybe to a degree. Like at the end of the day, there's some things that I think like passing. It's all arbitrary though, isn't it? It's just like a social understanding. There are some spaces where clearly lots of people, because like lots of people in my audience have like autism or other issues, and they're obviously not bothered at all by me saying that word. It's a lot more cloudy than like the N word,
Gotcha.
Let's put it that way. Yeah. So. Yeah, I think it's just like an ongoing social conversation, I guess. I think the R word is kind of weird in the sense that it felt like it was very, very normal. Then it became very not good, and now it's kind of becoming more normal. So um, I don't know. It just feels good to say it. I don't know what to say. There's just that
Gotcha.
trade-off.
You heard it here first, folks. Lonerbox refuses to stop saying the R word and will continue to use it. Very good. Thank you very much, Lonerbox. Next question. Where does Lonerbox come from? Like, how did you come up with the name Lonerbox?
Well, the name. Well, my favorite album is called Lonerism from 2012. It's a band called it's from Tame Impala, and box. I don't know. It's to do with computers, people being on the internet, yapping away. Just felt like it made sense. And I was also like quite into like the whole like old vintage TV aesthetic kind of thing as well. So
Oh, very cool. Yeah,
yeah, it just
I
sounded
definitely
right at the
noticed that
time.
aesthetic with the giant. Heck, even your webcam is 4:3, which is pretty funny.
Yeah, I did. That's not a choice. They just does that. I don't know how to undo it. Yeah.
Okay, very good, very good. All right, next question. What inspired you to get into politics?
I was actually kind of by mistake. I left school, went into college, wanted to do psychology, and I was initially put into a social sciences course in college. And just from doing that, I ended up preferring sociology and politics, and sociology overlaps a lot with politics anyway. And it just kind of, that was just where my interest gravitated towards. So yeah, it was initially because I thought psychology was the thing I wanted to do, and I really only wanted to do psychology because I watched Silence of the Lambs and I wanted to be like Hannibal Lecter, minus the eating people. But I just ended up preferring one over the other.
Oh, it's very fun. Do you think people should, in general, be more into politics?
I mean, I say that, but sometimes I wonder. I think you need to be into it for the right reasons. I very often feel like people take political opinions not really because they care about making improvements in the world, but like they're doing something else. Like to me, politics is about power, it's about collective actions, and it's about looking at it's about study of like institutions and policies and seeing which ones work better for what desires and which ones don't. Same with foreign policy. It's about resolving tensions between different nation states. That's how I think politics should be about. It's about wanting to make the world a better place. But I very often feel like people get involved in politics for things other than that. Like for some people, it seems to be like more of a kind of like moral signaling or like an identity, like a blood sports, or even like an identity, like almost the way that people adopt it, like they used to adopt goth or something like that, right? And for that, like I don't really get, or I mean I know why it happens, but I don't think it's all that helpful. Sometimes I do wonder if the world was better when politics was just for boring people who watch the news and watch BBC Question Time, because my God, the amount of like hackery and charlatanry that gets excused and dominates the discourse right now is so depressing to me. I had an immigration debate yesterday, and having to deal with people who you can literally put government statistics right in their face and they will just say no, 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 no. Like, because one of the stats I came across recently for immigration, which is like the dominant subject in the UK right now, is that about half of people in the UK think that there are more illegal migrants coming to the UK than legal. It's actually only 4%, but they think it's a majority. And I don't know what you do about that, because you tell them that and then you feel like you're telling them that their feelings aren't valid. It's a very bizarre position to be in. So yeah, so sometimes I wonder if I think people should be in politics for the right reasons. Obviously, everyone thinks the world would be better if everyone thought like they did, but no one wants to change their own opinions. So yeah, now that we're here, I guess you just have to challenge the bad opinions and support the good ones as much as you can.
Yeah, absolutely. And hopefully, there's some people, enough people that are willing to change their perspectives versus those that are stuck in their own ways. Alrighty.
Unfortunately.
All right, this is my last question for you. I like to make music too, and I think it's really cool. And it's not very discussed aspect about you that you like to make music. So tell me about your love of music and making music.
I don't know. I started playing guitar when I was 16. Mostly started with wanting to play Metallica and Iron Maiden covers, and then developed into like Zeppelin, like all of those 70s sort of like a lot of psychedelic bands like Supertramp and people like that. And then I was a big Beatles fan, and then played in a bunch of different bands. Played in a math rock band, took up piano and keyboards. Played in like a weird post rock band. Wrote a lot, recorded a lot of my own stuff. I got into music production in my mid 20s. Produced a lot of my own songs from start to finish. So like I would play drums, bass, guitar, keyboards, attempted vocals, and then just throw all that together. Got into kind of bedroom pop phase. Had like one of those two-piece, like a guy and a girl thing, like Air, or not Air, but like Beach House, or what do you call it? What's the other one called? Magdalena Bay, like that kind of thing. So yeah, it's just I've shifted quite a lot as I've done music, but yeah, there's always been some style or some means that I've enjoyed. Classical guitar was a big thing for me as well. What about you? What do you play?
I play guitar and I do vocals. I was in the choir in my college for 5 years, and I like to play like hard rock, heavy metal, and Beach House is definitely a big inspiration of mine as well. So it's super crazy that you dropped
alongside hard rock and heavy metal. You're a Beach House fan.
Yeah, I love shoegaze, love dream pop. It's all good. What are some of your musical goals, if any? Like, do you plan to release more covers at some point? Do you want to get more skilled at a certain style of music?
I probably won't ever release covers. That's never really been a thing. I mean, I did that a little bit when I used to. That was mostly in aid of like paid performances, like bars and restaurants and weddings and things like that.
I saw a cover of you doing Happy Birthday on keyboard that Unbox dropped like a year ago.
Oh yeah, because when I used to teach, and teaching people harmony, like chord structures and things like that.
Okay.
I did that. That was Happy Birthday was like a really good way to do that, because I was basically showing people how you take a melody that's the same and you have different chords, like, because one note can be, you add two notes and you got a chord. So I would use that as an example to be like, here's how you make it a sad birthday, or here's a happy birthday, or here's a jazz birthday. And then you could have different rhythms. Yeah, so I was just showing that for like, that was like my go-to lesson for teaching people about putting chords underneath folk melodies.
That's really
or
fun.
Understanding chords. Yeah.
Awesome. I think I speak for a lot of the people that in your chat right now that would love to hear and see more music from Lonerbox.
Always. I don't know. I mean, I recorded an album when I was in my 20s, and an EP, and also about an album's worth of music with a friend as well, like the guy-girl thing. But most of it's like 90% finished. So I had always thought like one day I'd actually use my channel to push it forward. But yeah, it's just always been something that's like, one thing at a time, and getting artwork and finding out exactly how I want to release it. But yeah, one day it'll be a thing.
Dude, let's just cut to the chase. Let's get that 10% done.
Yeah, or maybe they're actually done already. It's just yeah. But I think it's also because I used to have I did most of my production, but I had a mix engineer, and he kind of stopped working at some point. So it's been a bit of a nightmare trying to get a hold of like almost finished stuff, and then thinking, do I just get this redone by someone completely different, or getting in contact with people who I used to perform with, but I maybe can't really. It's like harder to get a hold of them now, or they're busy. So yeah.
All right, fair enough. All right, Lonerbox, let's jump to our activity. I want to debate you on some very, very serious, hard-hitting issues.
Sure.
Israel Palestine, that's nothing compared to what we're going to be talking about. So this next, I have a list of potential interview topics we can talk about. The first one is, does pineapple belong on pizza? I want to take the stance that pineapple does not belong on pizza, and I want to give you some time to kind of formulate your thoughts and debate me on this topic.
Or are we on a Tinder date or something? What is this?
This is serious. This is serious journalism, Lonerbox.
But nothing belongs. If you like it, you like it. I don't mind it. Hawaiian's fine. Like, geez, but does it belong? I don't know.
Whoa. You're using ad hominem. You're poisoning the well right now, Lonerbox.
Am I?
Yes.
How? What? Oh, are you're just using random debate terms? Okay. I get it. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I got a Hawaiian. I think last time I ordered one was like 10 years ago, but it was okay. It was good. But it's just not my go-to.
Well, I think you're wrong, and you don't know me at all. And that's the strawman fallacy, of course. Next topic.
Obviously.
Is a hot dog a sandwich?
No, it's a hot dog. You'd never call it a sandwich.
Damn, I was hoping you'd say the opposite, because I 100% agree with you. Next comment, or next topic. Is sleeping in socks criminal or not?
Yes.
Well, I think you're wrong.
Do you sleep in socks?
All the time, Lonerbox. You got a problem with that?
Where do you live? Do you live in a cold country or?
No, I live in
cold
sunny
state?
California.
And you sleep with your socks? Do
Yep.
you have air conditioning on all night?
Nope.
Okay. Does it not get annoying?
I love it.
I live in a cold country and don't need socks in bed. I don't know. It's weird. Bizarre.
All right, next topic. The Spider-Man actors. Who is the best Spider-Man?
Oh God. You know, the only Spider-Man I've actually watched, all of them, was the Tobey Maguire one.
God damn it!
I haven't
yeah.
seen the other ones.
Those
so-
are mine. Yeah, 100% in agreement. Tobey Maguire.
But I do think
Best.
he's probably, yeah. I don't know how he could be dethroned.
I agree. All right, and that's the debates. Lonerbox, this is the end of the interview. Would you like to plug anything?
What's your channel called? Alex the Fiction.
Yes, Alex the Fiction. Alex _ the _ fiction. If you don't put the underscores, you might not find it.
Well, my viewers, you should look up Alex _ the _ fiction if you like this guy. That's what I'll
Awesome.
plug.
Thank you so much, Lonerbox.